This is the USFL community recap / playoff preview. I have tonight with me Jake from Pro Football Newsroom and Mike. How we doing tonight? How's everyone doing?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. It was a great week to finish up Week 10. As we all know, the games were legit. They were fun to watch, especially your squad, Jake, with the Michigan Panthers, and just coming back in the second half with Perry was just absolutely incredible to see, to finish off a hell of a season.
Yeah, even better live too.
Yeah, you were there live as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I saw it when I was looking when I was just scrolling through Twitter. I saw that. I'm like, shit, that's the ref. That's got to be the ref right there. He's the only one that's going to go to a game with a ref shirt. So I had to throw that out there on Twitter, and it was him. But yeah, it was so much fun to watch, man. And Michigan, their defense showed out all season long, but when it mattered most, you had Perry, his first game ever, just go and ball out in the second half. I mean, everyone was worried come, the start of the game, what's he going to look like? What's he going to do? But man, what a way to put it together and put on a damn show for Michigan at Ford Field.
Yeah, no, him coming in, like you said, there's so many question marks. He showed some of his weaknesses that, there were criticisms of. He definitely showed some of that, but the positives definitely outweighed the negatives, and he gave that wrinkle that the Stars and other defenses, aren't used to with the Panthers offense. So I think that played a lot. But yeah, the defense, especially in the second half, pitching that shutout, definitely was necessary and was needed, and was great to see. We've seen it all year long. Finally putting it together at home was much needed.
Oh, absolutely. Mike, do you cover any particular team, or is it the league itself?
Just the league itself. I am partial to Panthers and the Maulers.
Okay.
And in the South, I would say the Memphis Hub itself. Both teams. I know that's crazy to you and probably some people out there, but I just have a hard time. I love the locations. I love where they play. The colors are awesome. I love the logos. They're just Cole Kelly's a good dude. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but he seems like a cool dude. He's a great quarterback. And just, yeah.
No, absolutely. I was just wondering if because I wanted to make sure that we covered all bases when it comes to the preview coming up, that we're going to be talking about the playoffs. So I just wanted to know if you had any particular team that you wanted to emphasize on. So before we jump into the actual playoff scenario and break that down really quick, there was some controversy via Twitter with a couple of players, and it looks like New Jersey may have a problem. And speaking of New Jersey, we had Trey Williams tweet this out. Steve Williams is the reason I didn't play today. He reminds me of Kevin Sumlin and Clarence McKinney. Good job, coach. You suck. So what that tells me basically is Trey is taking his talents elsewhere. That tweet is still up as of right now, I believe, too, as we're recording this. So it's like, I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. There's one, and do we have any more? So we do. We have one more. It's from Mark Thompson. Before he deleted this tweet, I was able to go ahead and take a screenshot of this, and he, I pretty much said, the calling out period has begun. Thompson, could only do so much, but I did dog him a little bit too when it came to, the breakers and things like that. What was it? The MVP race with Magoo, and you can't win with whatever the case may be. Yep. And he says, "I wish I played quarterback." So, what does that tell you? Mark Thompson does not look like he may or may not be with the Gamblers next season. But if not, if he sticks with the USFL, even along with Trey, there's many teams, 7 as of right now, teams that would pick him up in a heartbeat. So we do have some possible controversy going on internally. Came out to the public. We all saw it. And if you didn't, believe me, just reach out. I have screenshots. Anyway, so We are here to talk about this year's 2023 playoffs. We have the North Division Championship on Saturday, June 24th. Jake, I know you're hella excited. We have the Pittsburgh Maulers and the Michigan Panthers. Now, Jake, how do you see this playing out?
Well, hopefully different from week 9. That's my hope. I think Perry though does give it our offense that wrinkle that I don't think Pittsburgh is quite comfortable with. From what I'm hearing, it's definitely a concern, his ability with the RPO. So hopefully that is enough for there to be a huge difference from week 9, especially. Secure the ball, and then I think we could have a very good game. I think it's going to be a 1-score game. I honestly don't know which way it's going to go. The homer in me is leaning Panthers, but that's going to have to be again on the back, on the shoulders of Perry. I think the defense is going to play well. The Maulers don't have an offense. They're not going to have been able to get that offense going in the last couple of weeks to be a problem for the Panthers. We do have arguably the 2 best defenses in the league going up against each other. So, yeah, I think it's all going to come down to the Panthers' offense again. I think that's kind of been the story of the entire year. How will the offense do? But I think with Perry, that wrinkle, that's something that Horton and the Maulers haven't really seen from us. There's not any film other than the one game from Perry. So, yeah, he's got to have a good game, shore up those botched snaps, and then I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, and come, like you said, it was just 1 week of film. Yes, they can go back to earlier days, but that's not the same Perry. They only have that week 10 film to review. So it's more or less if like you mentioned as well, as far as Pittsburgh, if they don't score first, I said that I think last week, if they don't score first and early or early and fast, it's you have to rely on the defense for a pick six or a huge turnover in the opposite and red zone, things like that. But you mentioned defensive wise, these are 2 of the best defenses going up against each other, and that's 100% accurate. We saw it all season long, and yeah, this is not going to be a high scoring game. If it is, no one's going to know that. It's just going to be a fluke type of thing. But yeah, I do also see it being a low scoring game, defensively battling it out. It's going to be, I think, my most exciting game to watch. Of course, each game is, but really looking forward to seeing Pittsburgh and Michigan match up. But if they don't contain EJ, it's going to be a nightmare, for Pittsburgh. And I think I mentioned this off air before. They need to spy Perry. If not, then they're going to have problems. But they've gone up against mobile quarterbacks in the past. The Maulers have too. So, but how did that work out? So we'll have to see. Mike, what do you got?
For this game specifically, can the Panthers score more than 7 points? That's going to be the big thing.
So you think the Panthers need to score more than 7?
Well, because if memory serves, it was 23 or 26-7 in the first one, and 19-7 last week.
Okay.
So that's going to be a key, which I think they're going to score more than 7. That's a guarantee, if you ask me.
All right.
Like you said, the defenses are going to be a big key. The biggest thing for me, looking at it from the Pittsburgh perspective, is it was working with the Troy Williams to Henny connection. And we saw that huge shot that Henny took, which was crazy. If they can get on track, you're definitely in for a good game. I do think EJ definitely improves from what we saw last week. There may still be some issues there that we saw last week, but as a whole, I think you're overall going to see progress of him forming into a better player. And I mean, for a minute, I just want to note, if you watch Perry run the offense compared to Love run the offense, two totally different things there.
Yeah,
So
because Perry, he's a mobile quarterback, so he has that
Yeah.
ability with his legs where Love is tall, straight up, pocket passer. Love can get out of the pocket, but he's just not as mobile as we saw Perry was. So, yeah, I think if Perry can do what he did in the second half, it's going to spell a lot of trouble, a lot of problems for the Maulers defense. But at the same time, it's like, damn, which way do you go? Because the Maulers have proven all season long just as well they can handle any type of quarterback too. So it comes down to Jaron Horton and his defensive genius, because I think he's one of the best. I posted that on Twitter too. He's one of my favorites, of course. But yeah, this is going to be a hell of a battle. It's going to be fun to watch. And when it comes to the playoffs with the USFL, I'm glad it's only 4 teams, and it's not like a huge you have to. There's wild card, things like that. I love the fact that it's win, move forward, and it's fast. It's not like we have to wait weeks upon weeks, for the playoffs to start. It's here and now, and it's just exciting football.
I don't know, because eventually we're going to get to the point where it's not 2 games to determine the champion. Right. He's still going to be, now we're talking probably 4-5 years down the road, but I would say a max before we get there. But I mean, as long as the product is still good, I don't see why it would be. I mean, I get your point, but if it's more games, I still think it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them going to like a 32 type situation. I think, it would be like a maybe 12, maybe 14, 16 teams tops 4 to 5 years from now. I don't see it. I don't want to see it going any further than that. Of course you want to see guys get opportunities, but I think, 12, 14, 16 max would be a great spring football league, and leave it at that, So, Jake, you have your final pick for Pittsburgh, Michigan. Throw out your pick. I know you're the Panthers guy. So are you going with the Panthers?
Yeah, I'm going Homer pick. I'm going to say that the Panthers are going to have to finally get a win without scoring 21 or more, because those are the 4 wins this year. They've scored more than 21 points. They're going to have to win while not doing that. I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 17-15.
17-15. Okay. Mike, what do you
I
got?
think Blewit's going to have a bigger day. I don't think the Maulers are going to get the touchdown. The touchdown that they got in week 9, if special teams plays like they did on Sunday, then I think they could actually just hold them to field goals. I'm hopeful. That's kind of my best case scenario, but
yeah, absolutely.
Keep the ball. Actually win the time of possession battle. That would actually be nice for once.
Yeah.
So, I think you're right on almost everything you said. I think the way that Pittsburgh's magic has been running a little bit, they've been able to score a touchdown and win the game off of field goals the rest of the way. I think you're close on the score too, except I think we're going to see yet again a big game from Chris Blewett. I think we're looking at 18-17 Pittsburgh. I do, like you said, I do think, Pittsburgh is going to be able to score more than just 1 touchdown. I mean, Michigan is going to be able to score more than 1 touchdown. It'd even be nice to see EJ throw a touchdown, and that maybe he did last week. That's from not really being able to watch the game.
He did not.
All right. So, I mean, for me, I'm just going to go, I love the Maulers. In this one, I'll be that guy. But low scoring, it's going to be like 2013, close game. And, as far as the Maulers defense, they have been so damn good this season. I do see them either making a huge play on the opposite side, turnover or pick 6, whatever the case may be, to justify their, as far as moving forward, scoring, it would have to be a big defensive turnover, because if Troy Williams, if Williams is not on point, it's just he's not the guy. He just never has been all season long. It's so weird to watch him play. If he has time in the pocket, it's like he rushes a little more and his throws aren't as accurate. And if he's pressured just a little bit and he has to throw it up, it's more accurate, it's more on point. So it's just like, I don't know, it's almost like a reverse type situation with Williams. But either way, it's going to be a great game. I have Pittsburgh moving on to the championship. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on as well to the Southern Division Championship. Sunday, June 25th, we have the Breakers and the Stallions. This is a playoff rematch. Mike, what do you got?
I love MBT. MBT's been up and down all year. You're 1-1 against the Stallions. You played great the first time. Played okay-ish the second time. It's time to show up, show America the Grey Cup version of MBT from last year, and I want to see the Breakers kick the ever-loving crap out of the Stallions. Now, that's what I want to see. So, from what I want to see, my matchup would be Pittsburgh and New Orleans. My pick, after everything I just said, is Birmingham, because Birmingham is the safe pick. Now, I know that's angersome to a lot of people, but Birmingham is a safe pick because Alex Magoo is a freaking beast. Alex McKim, as a lot of people that we talk to like to call him, Alex Magoo, whatever. He's your MVP for obvious reasons. You got him. You got, oh my gosh, Maribal, or the running back. I'm blanking on his name. But I just think, there's enough weapons. You're looking at a close game, hopefully, a good game as well. I'm going to probably go 38-35 Birmingham.
All right, so you're thinking it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jake, what do you got?
Ultimately, I'm picking Birmingham. Look at that. I think that this game is chalk. Birmingham, like Mike said, Magoo is just MVP for a reason. This one, I think we'll find out tomorrow when they announce all USFL that he is in fact the MVP of the season, and rightfully deserved. I think that he's able to just control the offense. He's going to be able to control the clock, and they'll win. I don't think it's going to be 60 points, but I think we see, or 70 points. I think we see closer to maybe 50. So probably in the realm of 30 to 20.
30-20. All right. But at the same
20,
time,
23. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to talk about the Stallions first. Now, with the Stallions, they have a week to recover, whatever the case may be. But Scooby Wright is coming back. He was a healthy scratch, but he's going to be back. The Shock Dog is back. So you know what that can do, for a defense, and, for the team overall. So I think as far as Birmingham and their defense, if they're healthy and you have Scooby Wright back, a healthy Scooby Wright, I don't see it being as far as, maybe I'm going to go with the total score being 42 and below overall. You're going to see, this is my prediction, you're going to see a lot of Birmingham throughout the first half, going into the second half, and then the Breakers turning it up and taking it over. So I'm going Breakers. I'm going to go Breakers. I'm going to go West Hills having a breakout game. So that's my prediction. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be in it the entire time, both teams, and then it's going to be the Breakers pulling away, and it's going to be a heartbreak in Birmingham. That's just my prediction. I have to. You guys are going with Birmingham, so I have to go with Breakers just to mix it up and just be a dick. You know, why not? Well, I mean, West Hills was the guy all season long. You know, he's taken a little bit of a step back, and I think he rejuvenates in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be the Breakers and Maulers. For like, who the hell would even think of this right now? The Maulers, even being in the same sentence after last season, being mentioned in the possibility of the playoffs and the friggin' championship. Who would have known? If you would have asked Webb from the USFL Network, he would have absolutely 100% said yes. You know, he's been saying it all season long. The Maulers are just a different team, and you know the defense was there last season too, but the offense, what would they run? 4 or 5 different plays. So it was so, you know, as far as it was so stagnant. Everyone knew what the hell was what was being called. Badly was absolutely trash. Whoever they threw in there for the Maulers were just absolutely trash. Yeah, I just don't have a thing for Badly. I'm not a fan. Bad, if you're watching, it's because you said the USFL Network was not on your radar, not on your level to come on our show. So I think you absolutely suck. So I'm going to go ahead and say that and just put it out there. Anyway, so moving on, guys. I know I was just rambling. I do apologize. But anyway, it's the USFL playoffs. Who's excited? I mean, this is going to be a hell of a, 2 games. We have Saturday and we have Sunday. Jake, you're going to be there on Saturday, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm making the trip down.
Okay. Mike, are you attending any games?
Not this week.
No.
I'm looking into next week for sure.
Okay, so for the actual championship?
Yep,
Yeah, I mean,
with everybody coming into town and everything, I figure, well, might as well do what I can.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much fun to take in that atmosphere when it came to the championship. So many people were saying, "Oh, there aren't enough fans," but it was just electric. Way before the game started, Canton was a great host for the championship. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun and some great football to end, to finish it out. So, guys, I mean, this is all we got. This is it, playoffs, and that's it. We don't have many things to go over because we pretty much covered it all. So
3 more games.
That's it, man. It's going to be absolutely fun. It's going to be another historic season to wrap up. We don't know what's going to happen season 3. How many teams are going to be, established, or will the Tampa Bay Bandits come back? We don't know. They were on a hiatus come this season, so we don't know. But Jake, Mike, thank you guys for joining me. It was so much fun as usual talking football. We love it. And let's go ahead and try this. After next week? After this weekend's game, we'll do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Sounds good, guys. I will see you next week. USFL community has spoken once again. We are out. Take care, guys.